of your heart. Some people have gotten weary of asking for the right person, so they've laid that prayer aside. But maybe you were praying in the wrong frame of mind. God does not need desperate prayers. He hears desperate prayers, but the prayer that he can barely resist is the one that comes from somebody who chooses what he chooses and loves what he loves. Then he is bound to answer the petitions way down deep in your heart. The things you won't even share with anybody anymore. And I want to tell you this. Let me start with the sisters. If you want to be pretty, because I know everybody cannot afford an extreme makeover. In fact, brothers, I got to put a little asterisk here. I want to remind you that if you marry a woman who has been made over extremely, the genes remember. And unless you plan to take every one of your children to get an extreme makeover, why don't you let God help you choose somebody? But sister, here's what I was about to tell you. If you want to be irresistible, think about God giving you the desires of your heart. Think about the fact that in him you live and move and have your being. Think about the fact that he walks with you and he talks with you. Think about the fact that he has called you to do a job for him. God has assigned everybody a task. So instead of sitting around waiting on Mr. Right, go do something for Jesus. I preach to you. I preach to you that if you return a faithful tithe and give an offering, that he will open the floodgates of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Do you doubt that he may have Mr. Right up there somewhere? I preach to you that if you keep God's Sabbath, he'd make you ride on the high places of the earth. I told you what the heritage of Jacob was. If you get that working in your personality, it'll make you so irresistible that Mr. Wrong will be all over the place. But finally, Mr. Right will have to come if he's there. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. God will not give you a bad substitute for the prayer that you are praying. And I will tell you what women and men have said to me. In fact, one lady, I can see her still. She said, Pastor, I can't do it, but you can. She said, tell every woman who seems to be getting desperate that they would rather be alone than to have the wrong man. She spoke with authority, but because she was married to the wrong man. She said, Pastor, please tell him, let God choose him. And if God doesn't send him, don't go get him for yourself. Well, you're quiet, but I'm telling you the truth. Let me get to this text, because some of you are not going to be ready until I do. 1 Samuel chapter 16. You need to go there. In fact, I hope some people came here prepared to take notes. 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 7. I've got it in another version. Here it is. Man looks on the physical appearance, but God looks on the heart. I believe that too many people are too focused on physical appearance. Sisters, I don't want to pick on you, but let me tell you, you complain about these boy toys. I hope you can translate that in every country where I'm preaching to tonight. You complain about these boy toys, but who made them popular? Aren't you the ones who chase them? Aren't you the ones who go by what they look like instead of who they are? Aren't you the ones who let them fool you with their rented cars, their rented clothes? Aren't you the ones who judge them by what they look like instead of the content of their character? What I want to tell you is that there's some man almost finished with his doctorate. He's got on 2 plaids that don't match. He's got tape around the corner of his glasses. His hair is not combed. But in about a month, he's going to be making more money than you ever imagined. He knows how to apply himself. He knows how to stay on one note until he gets it right. And he loves Jesus, and you walking by him trying to get to a boy toy. Why don't you pray? Because you look on the outward appearance, but God looks on the heart. If God told you that he has a relationship with that man, with the plaids that don't match, with the nerdy looking eyeglasses, if God told you that that man loves Jesus with all of his heart, don't you understand that you can buy him new clothes that match? Get him some contact lenses. Get him laser surgery. Get him some clothes. After you get all the money that this man is going to earn, you could make him look like the man of your dreams, because it's not what's on the outside that counts, it's what's on the inside that counts. And brothers, let me tell you something. I know it's changed. In fact, I wish I could make all the women leave until I say this, but I got to tell it to everybody. Times have changed now. The sisters are on the move. And those same sweet nothings that used to be exclusive to men are now being used with masterful effect, are being used by women. Before you leave home in the morning, brother, take a good hard look at yourself. Some woman comes up to you and say, "Hey, you been pumping iron?" Don't let that mess your mind up. You know good and well that the last metal you picked up was a fork. And you're going to let some woman mess up your mind. You had better learn too, my brother, that the outward appearance is not the only thing that counts. In fact, if you had to make a choice between somebody who looked like a motion picture star and somebody who looked just kind of plain but loved Jesus, y'all ain't trying to listen to me tonight, are you? Without being indelicate, let me say this to you. The inexorable force of gravity will change everyone eventually. I can't describe it with women. It would be indelicate to do.